Good morning. It's good to be with you on this. I'm not sure what day it is. It's been a week. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning. It is good to be with you as we're kind of back in a little bit of our normal um, pattern today. Uh, Today we're going to pick up with John chapter 20. We're reading John 20 verses 1 through 10. So let's read what the word says to us this morning. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw the stone had been removed from the entrance. She came running to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one Jesus loved, and said, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb. We don't know where they put him." So Peter and the other disciple started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent over and looked in at all the strips of linen lying there, but did not go in. Then Simon Peter came along beside him and went straight into the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' head. The cloth was still lying in its place, separate from the linen. Finally, the other disciple who reached the tomb first also went inside. He saw and believed. They still did not understand from the scriptures that Jesus had to rise from the dead. Then the disciples went back to where they were staying. So we see here the resurrection account in John's gospel, and there's always a running joke, and it always makes me laugh. John here includes all the pertinent information you need to have about the resurrection, but he also includes the fact that he beat Peter in a foot race. And I just think that's important for us to know that of all the stuff John wanted Christians to know throughout all eternity, John thought it was very important that we know that he was faster than Peter in a foot race. So that's big. That's big. So you don't want to when you get to heaven and you see John, you don't want to challenge him to a foot race because you're going to lose. You're going to lose. John lets us know that he was the fastest of all the disciples. So that's just it's just that always makes me laugh when I read this story. But we do see first this story to me, this passage here really reminds me a lot of Mark um, 16, the resurrection account in the first 8 verses of Mark, because there's a sense of wonder and of confusion and of uncertainty. They don't know exactly what has happened, but something has happened. Something has happened. Peter got there. They went inside. They bent over, looked at the strips of linen. They went to the tomb. They saw strips of linen lying there. The headcloth was lying separate. John saw and believed, but they did not fully understand. And they went back to where they were staying. So we see that there is a notion of belief, of wonder, but not understanding. Not understanding. Now, of course, a lot of reasons why they hadn't met Jesus yet. They had not encountered Jesus post resurrection. They had not. They had not received the Holy Spirit yet, so they did not have full wisdom yet. So there was a lot of reasons why they didn't understand. But I just think it's significant that they um, had wonder, had faith, but they didn't fully know and understand everything. Um, Having a conversation with somebody recently about this, how there is, for me, for me, faith is not simply the domain of the head, but faith is the domain of the heart. Because my impulse is to want to understand everything. I like to understand everything. I do. I want to know it. I want to understand it. I want it to make sense to me. I like rationality. I like for things to be rational. I like for things to make sense. I like to understand. I like to know. I do. I like to understand things. And so one of my growing edges in faith is always just to believe. Just to believe. And that's what they're seeing here. They um they they see John even believes. He saw and believed, but they didn't understand. They didn't understand. We've got to, at times in our life, at times in our faith, be comfortable, understand, live into the concept of mystery. That there are some things in life and in faith that we will never fully understand. Some things in life and faith that we're never fully going to know. Some things that are never going to make sense. They just never will. For all that we try and all that we work and all that we seek and all that we desire to know, we're just never fully going to understand them. We're never fully going to know them. We're just not. We're just not. And faith calls us to be comfortable in the mystery. Be comfortable knowing, but not understanding. You ever encountered something beautiful? I think of, for me, quite often it's in nature. If you go to see a beautiful sunrise or beautiful sunset, you see just spark the beauty of creation sparkle. You know there's something sacred there and something beautiful and something holy, but you may not fully understand. You ever heard a choir or a musical team sing something that speaks to your heart? You ever experience that? You may not be able to explain it, but you know it. You just know there's something holy happening there. You looked into the eyes of a newborn child. You just know. One of my English professors loved poetry, and I always think of the words of William Wordsworth. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began, so is it now that I'm a man. So let it be when I shall grow old and die. I just love that concept. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. Where does your heart leap up this morning? They encountered the resurrected Jesus. Well, let me rephrase that. They didn't encounter the resurrected Jesus. They encountered the fact that Jesus was resurrected. They had not met Jesus post-resurrection yet. So they didn't really encounter Jesus, but they encountered the effects of the resurrection. They encountered the aftermath of the resurrection. They encountered and saw what it looked like post-resurrection. They saw this. And there was a knowledge and a beauty, but not a complete understanding. So today, don't feel like you got to understand all your faith. Don't feel like everything has to make sense. Don't feel like it's all got to be perfect. Don't feel like you've got to know all knowledge or fathom all mysteries or any of this. But give yourself space today. Give yourself room today. Give yourself the place today to live into the beautiful mystery that is Christ and his resurrection. To live into the beautiful mystery that is life and forgiveness and grace and mercy and wholeness. They did this today. Now, this is not the end of the story. They knew more. They come to understand more. They come to understand more each moment. So we will come to understand. We will come to know more. We will. We will. But today, don't feel like you got to understand it all. Don't feel like you got to know it all. Just live in the mystery and understand the goodness and the fullness and the depth of God's mercy. Today, live in the mystery. Live in the mystery. And you will find the power and the goodness of God that comes from his life. Well, tomorrow we'll see Jesus encounter Mary. It's a great, a great story. So thanks for being with us today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the morning. Thanks.